Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 1st of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, which episode 9 marked itself as, a lot of fans around the world have been very skeptical about the future of Star Wars and exactly how both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are going to handle everything moving forward, and how the Star Wars fans are really going to react to all of this. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are still in a phase of damage control and desperation since the release of the sequel trilogy. There's no doubt about it that a lot of fans have been very much upset with what happened with The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. If we take a quick look at The Rise of Skywalker, it really had a lot of scenes that were deleted by Kathleen Kennedy, and the fact that Kathleen Kennedy also played a major role in The Last Jedi and how Rian Johnson was going to be the director and the writer of that film also derailed the franchise. There's no really other way of saying it, is that yes, it did in fact derail the franchise. Now, with Bob Iger and Chapek at the helm here with the new Star Wars universe, they're really trying their absolute best to satisfy the fans around the world, to really kind of reform Star Wars, right? To really give us this next phase of Star Wars that we have never seen before. And they really want to actually kind of evolve Star Wars, both in-universe and out-universe. And what I mean by out-universe is how they're going to handle everything. The business end, the marketing end, and the overall structure of Star Wars, right? So with that being said, what's really intriguing all has to do with Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy. So with both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek hard at work on developing a better future for the Star Wars franchise, they are also invested in reuniting the Star Wars community in order to make the Star Wars brand more successful than it ever was before and for the universe in general. However, it's explained that behind the scenes, many of the new creatives over at LUCASFILM have been working on over 10 Star Wars projects for Disney Plus alone. Let that sink in for a moment there. 10 projects for Disney Plus alone. And that creator Jon Favreau recently had the authority to cancel a major project that was initially being developed by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, the project was going to be centered on the High Republic era, and that it was going to serve as a new side film apart from the new Star Wars trilogy. Now, recently Favreau spoke closely with Bob Chapek about these initial plans by Kathleen Kennedy, and that they both came to a decision to cancel that movie and to replace it with something else, and that the High Republic is better suited for Disney Plus in the form of television for the fans to enjoy around the world. So let me just say one thing right here, is that this was a good move by Favreau to really cancel this major project by Kathleen Kennedy, and the fact that this was initially going to be a movie per se, I'm not quite sure if I really agreed with that. I think that the High Republic era, from what we actually have learned so far, is that it's really more suited to be in the form of television. That's at least how I see things. And it's a really good move that Favreau actually had the idea to go through with all of this. And let's not forget that Favreau is a very passionate Star Wars fan. At the very heart, he loves Star Wars. He has had a lot of issues with the direction of Star Wars, and he really wants to fix it, and that's exactly what he's doing as we speak. So, with Favreau, pretty much the new George Lucas, as Bob Iger likes to call him, he sees a lot of George Lucas within Jon Favreau, and I do agree. When we look at Jon, we do see a lot of George as far as his passion goes, his creativity, his love for Star Wars, and how The Mandalorian is a prime example of that. It just shows us that, he really wants the Star Wars community to be reunited. He wants Star Wars to have a better and brighter future. And when we look at everything related to The Mandalorian and The Mandalorian Season 2 so far, I am very excited to see what Favreau has in store. So, moving on from this, it's further explained that Favreau had a hard time enjoying The Last Jedi, and that all he wants for the fans is actually to be happy for them to be satisfied with Disney's new direction of Star Wars, where the High Republic film was going to be filled with woke culture and identity politics, and that Favreau wants to move away from all of this and is going to reform it into the way of television on their streaming service Disney Plus. So that's another thing about Favreau that I really like, is that he is departing away from the woke culture, from the identity politics and the personal agendas by Disney and Lucasfilm. He doesn't want that for Star Wars. He wants something else for Star Wars, and that to me just really screams the fact that he is very passionate. It really does. When we look at Dave Filoni, also the protege of George Lucas, amazing guy. He also is going to be hard at work on this new EU. That's really going to be quite something for the Star Wars fans, right? So for Favreau to have the authority to really cancel this major project by Kathleen Kennedy, I think it's a prime example and connects to what we talked about not too long ago, is that they actually are considering of having Favreau replacing Kathleen Kennedy as head of Lucasfilm, and that would probably be the best thing to happen to Star Wars in over 10 years. It really would be. I think it would be a great decision by Disney, and the fact that they're considering that is a very big idea. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.